Hi, welcome to everyone's favourite segment, Mailbag. It's not often that we get something that's bigger than the mailbag bench, but thank you very much, Daxys, an Australian company, for sending in the Bandicoot electric scooter. It's one of these newfangled scootery things that all the kiddies are riding around on, so let's check it out. I don't have an electric scooter. I use old-fashioned Dave power for this thing, but yeah, this one looks like a beauty. 25 k's an hour, 50k range. We'll see if it gets that. Weighs 24.5 kilos, so it's a bit of a heavy bugger. 25-degree slope. Yeah, okay, we'll test that. 7 to 8 hour charge and 120 kilos. I'm only 74, so no worries. Might have to throw Mrs. EEVblog on the back and give it a burl. Anyway, let's crack it open. Tongue at the right angle. So this is an Aussie model designed for Australia. I'm not sure if you can actually get it overseas, but anyway, I'll link it in down below. Retails for $19,990 Aussie, that is. None of that Yankee rubbish. But I did see it, one dealer has it for like 1,300 and something. So yeah, well, we've got padding. It's already hinged. There you go. Don't think you have to worry about getting this sucker damaged in transit. I really like how they've kept the handlebars. They've rotated them like this and kept them in place. So that's a beauty. And the brake, they've protected that. So somebody who's designed the packaging for this thing knows what they're doing. Look, they even went to effort to put a bit of rubber baby buggy bumper on top of there to, looks like, to protect the hinge mechanism for the scooter. Look at that, right? It's almost ready to go. Looks like I'll just plug this into here. Well, I'll show you up close in a minute. It's got built-in light, got a couple of bits, an Allen key, no wuckers. I reckon somebody put this cable on wrong, so I've got to disconnect it before I can actually put the shaft into there. Don't you hate that? All right, let's try and lift this sucker out of here. It's got a convenient handle on there, so no worries. 25.5 kilos. Oh, look at that. Stands upright. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Look at that. So user manual online, you can download a couple of screws and Allen key to whack in the handlebars, and Bob's your uncle. Looks like we've got our two traditional brake cables going through rubber grommets here, no worries. And then all we've got going up to the top, that'll go up to the throttle and to the light up here, is a connector. I noticed that it's not a screw type, but it's a friction fit. And if we get that apart, it does have a little lip on there, so that's all right. You don't have to put any heat shrink on that. And that's like a little 5-pin jobby. It's not like a Lima. I would have liked to have seen metal connectors there, but anyway, that's all right. So we'll whack that back in. Yeah, I don't think any vibration's going to cause that to come apart. So now our problem is to shove all this excess cable down the shaft here. That's what she said, and it's not easy. You might need it, because the other brake cables get in the way, so you might need a poker stick. But no worries, that's all right. So we've got two tapped holes on there, and in the back, so we should be able, what does that do? Nothing? We just whack it down, yeah, no worries. And we just screw it in, they got a bit of Loctite on there, and we're off to the trots. Oh, it's even got some film we can peel off. Look at that. Oh, Bobby Dazzler, oh, I got some residue left. What does it do? Oh, there must be a display on there. Oh, I'll tell you what, this folding mechanism feels sturdy as. You gotta push that down, and bingo, you can then carry it on the train or bus or whatever. No wuckers, or fold into the back of the car. That looks like a pretty solid interface, and they've got like a coil of wire around that protecting the three cables, the two caliper brake cables and that wiring cable as well. So even rotating that, and that rotates with it. So I don't think any wear on those cables is going to be a problem. So I'll fold that up into place, and like that. No wuckers. And that feels sturdy as. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, this bell's a Bobby Dazzler. It like gives you like a solid snap there. I want one of these for my bike. We've got pretty much standard caliper brakes here. Left side for the rear, right side for the front. No wuckers. Standard adjustments for caliper brake cables. So if you're used to servicing those on a bike, this is no different. And this looks for all the world like a bag hanger, so you can hang your bag in front of you as you ride. That's pretty neat. They've been thinking. And it's got a nice spring-loaded kickstand. That's a beauty. Look at that. It's got a really nice deep rubber patterned deck on it, so that'll be great in all weathers for grip. Terrific. You can see it's got dual spring suspension on the rear here, single on the front, and it looks like we've got some side lights there. Pretty sturdy looking mudguard on the back, and fairly well designed. That should stop you getting a wet bum when you turn up to work. As far as the physical mounts go here, not sure what size those bolts are, but it looks pretty darn sturdy. Yeah, I'd be guessing it's going to meet its 120 kilo rating, no worries. It's supposed to have puncture resistant run flat tyres, so I don't know, not getting through. So clearly our hub motors inside here are 500 watt jobby, which meets our Australian legal requirements apparently. Yes officer, this is 500 watts maximum. Nudge nudge, wink wink. So one of the problems I have with this is that while it folds down nice, there's like, it just bangs on here, and I've already marked up the surface on there. As far as the front wheel goes, it's got no hub motor in there, it's just got a drum brake. And this has got 10 inch by 2.7 inch tyres on it, and that single large spring suspension in there. It's nice that they got sort of like a matching blue in there. Nice touch. And for all you weld aficionados, there you go, but it does look very solid frame, no wuckers. I mean, I have no doubt this is going to meet its weight capability. It just seems rugged as. As you can see, haven't even ridden this thing yet, and it's scuffed up on there from the alloy bar just scraping on it. So yeah, that just scrapes on the back of the alloy frame when you fold it down. They could have had something better for that. They seem to put attention to detail into everything else, but that, nah. So the idea is that you're supposed to get this hook here, which, as I said, you could use for a luggage holder, but you're supposed to like hook that into there like that, but there's no spring to hold it, so it's a bit fiddly, and if I drop it like that, it's just going to come undone like that. So I don't know, I wouldn't like to carry that around, but anyway, gee, she weighs a lot, 25.5 kilo. I mean, check it out, they went to all the trouble to put in like a rubber baby buggy bumper in there so that you wouldn't get vibration, you know, a rattle vibration on this thing, but they couldn't put a rubber thing at the end when your handlebars fold down. I don't get it. All right, let's chock her up and turn her on. All right, so it looks like we have two thumb controls here. I believe this one's the throttle. We've got our power switch, we've got our light switch, we've got our left and right turn indicators here, which is nice. I think there's a LED in the side of the handlebar here. That'll be nice as well as on the back there, so no wuckers. But I'm not sure what this throttle does. So it's only got the one hub motor in the thing, so not entirely sure. Anyway, let's turn it on. 3 seconds apparently. Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. Full charge. That's a nice display. I like that. Even with my bright lab lights on here, can really see that. So it immediately powers up in a kick to start mode. So I've got to actually push it. So I've got to actually turn the wheel before it'll actually go. So let me try it. I'll spin it with my foot. Yep. It's going. It's going very slowly. Oh. Aha, that's actually the rear brake light here. And so we've got rear caliper brakes, front caliper brakes, plus you've got the back EMF control. So just like driving my Ioniq EV, most of the time I don't use the disc brakes at all. I'm using electronic braking with the back EMF of the motor. Okay, so it's in testing mode now apparently. So I can kick that rear wheel and it's moving at a very slow speed. And then if I slam on the brakes, yeah, it shuts and cuts out. So that's all part of the initial testing. Seems to work. And there's our blinker. Look at that. It's great that it's on the side here. Not only can people see it like higher up, but also you can see it when you're actually riding the thing. So that's really neat. But there is no auto turn off. You've got to turn it off manually. And the charger port on this, it's just one of those DC jack jobbies down there. It comes with a plug pack, you know, 5 to 6 hours to charge, fully charge. Not too shabby for, you know, a 55k range. And it's got an automatic flip down weather seal as well. Nice touch. And there's the engagement there of the caliper brakes. They're actually drum brakes internally. So inside here, that's not actually a motor in there. That's just like a drum brake inside there. Now, it's at this point I'd take you outside and I'd show you some real test footage of actually using this in the real world. Unfortunately, I can't, because I just found out that the New South Wales freaking government have effectively banned these things in New South Wales. That's right, banned e-scooters. Can you believe it? There is a small trial they're running at the moment where there's one company that's allowed to lease them in one particular area or something, running some study or some bullshit like that. So I cannot ride this thing anywhere in public. I can only ride it on private property. That's why I'm down here in the basement car park of my corporate building and the lights just went out. Fantastic. Luckily, I've got some blinkers and stuff, and I've got a headlamp, so no wuckers. Not all the lights went out, as you can see here, I'm still lit up, but most of them, like, 3/4 of them went out to save power. Anyway, I'm gonna just ride this thing around the car park, at least get some footage. So all e-scooters have been banned in New South Wales. Unbelievable, but I'm allowed to actually ride an e-bike up to 50 kilograms in weight. Unbelievable. Anyway, this baby has a top speed of 25 k's an hour. Anyway, the New South Wales government can shove their helmet laws in the same place that they shove their e-scooter laws. So let's go, kickstand up. So I've got it in sport mode. Here we go, give it a push start. Woo! Woo! Tell you what, there's one thing with this, is that the e-brake on it, the electronic brake with the thumb switch here, it's not very smooth. It's kind of like a bit binary, kind of like on or off kind of thing. So yeah, that's a downside, but yeah, 25 k's an hour ain't much. So I've not ridden this thing in various locations, and having not done that, I can tell you that the 25k an hour speed limit is a bit how you're doing, especially when you're going downhill. So it's not the best. Apparently this thing can do 50 k's an hour, but it's software limited, I believe, anyway, in this particular Aussie model. So if you get a particular model, I don't know, are there any hacks for this thing? Haven't looked to see if you can upgrade it. So apparently, yeah, this is limited, software limited in power and speed, I believe, because there is some marketing material out there that shows 50 k's an hour maximum. There's 3 modes on it: the economical mode, the regular drive mode, and the sport mode. Sport mode's pretty much where you want to do it. Like if you do E mode and try and start the thing, it's a bit how you doing. And in easy mode, its software limits you to about 15 k's an hour. Is it 12, 13, something like that? Anyway, yeah, it's not great. But if you run out of range and you need to go slow to get home, then yeah, easy mode will do it. But sport's where you want it. And the handlebar turn range is physically limited, so you can't like flip the thing around and do some tricks or something and bust up your cables and things like that. So apart from that, it's all right. Suspension on it's pretty good, but I find that going up, certainly can't go up large gutters. Even the smaller, little thin gutters, I find that it is a little bit violent. So these are one of the biggest wheels on an e-scooter like this, so it's just the nature of the small wheel, really, rather than anything fundamentally wrong with this particular model. The display I found is pretty good on this. I have no problems with it, except for the trip odometer here. It'd be nice to be able to like show you it's in 1 kilometer like increments, so it doesn't show I've done more than a kilometer in this thing, trust me. And it's like it reset itself, and I can't find any info how to do it. It should be like I don't know, like 10 meters or something resolution, at least like that, and you should like reset it for every trip, but not a kilometer. I mean, it's almost pointless having it there, really. So yeah, I don't really understand the trip odometer in this thing. I can fix that in software. And the other thing I don't like on this is the light. Now, well, the built-in light is great, but it is piss weak. I mean, I could get out my the one I'll put in a link to a bike light review that I've done, and it's like it's chalk and cheese. This thing's like barely even adequate. Really, it's really disappointing, and there's only one level. It's not like I can hold it down or anything, and its spread pattern's okay and stuff like that. It's angled correctly, and the beam pattern's okay. It's just piss weak. Yeah, really, they need to fix that. And it does have a tail light. If I hit the e-brake there, or I pull either of the lever brakes, then it comes on. But if I turn the light on, then that will come on and then go at a higher brightness if I apply either lever brakes or the e-brake. So yeah, that's pretty groovy. And then you've got the blinkers on the side down here, and they're really good. They angle down so they light up the ground, and you can see them out. And of course, you've got them on the handlebars as well. Great. So this ramp doesn't look like much, but it's actually, I've measured it, and it's actually 15 degrees, so it's not too shabby. It's steeper than it looks on camera. So I'm going to try it in the lowest E mode and see if we can get up here with a run up. So let's go. Okay, here we go. Come on, come on. No, no, no. Oh, hang on. No, 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 no. All right, let's try it again in drive mode. So middle of the range, let's give it a whirl and turn around and accelerate. Go, go, you little beauty, go. 10 k's an hour, 8, 7, 5, 4, no. All right, sports mode. I reckon this one will work. Go around the pole at the bottom and go. Woo! Oh yeah, too easy. Okay, let's see if we can do a dead start at the bottom of 15-degree climb in sport mode. Oh yeah, it struggles a bit, but it gets up. Okay, I'm going to try that middle of the range drive mode again, because I reckon it should be able to make it given enough run up. I just don't think I had enough initial speed at the start, so let's give it a go. Okay, I'm getting a good run up now. I'm up to 12 k's an hour, 13, 14, 15. Oh, no, you bastard. Come on. Oh, yes, yes, I did it. Woohoo! So there you go. That's a Daxys Bandicoot. Very interesting mailbag. Thank you very much, Daxys, for sending this in. I'd love to be able to ride this to and from the lab to home, but it's technically illegal. So I'm totally not going to do that. But yeah, there's lots of things I like about this. The build quality is really great. The range at 55 k's, even though I couldn't test that, it seems excellent, but it is pretty heavy. But it's built like a brick dunny, and really the kickstand's very nice, and the foldy mechanism here, you just put that down and you lift that up. I don't really like the dicky little thing here. Like, see, it just came out then, right? So yeah, I don't know. So carrying this on public transport, bit of a no-go, but apart from, you know, if you had to, but it's more for your long-range commute. But if you're going from like home to work and you've got to go like 10 k's each way or something like that, something with this sort of range would be fantastic, of course. And one of the limitations is that there's no adjustable height handlebar, so it is pretty high, but the suspension on it is is pretty decent, and the large tyres about as big as it gets. As I said, 25k top speed limit. Nah, can we hack it, please? I am used to my push bike doing like twice that downhill on the way home. So unfortunately, the electronic brake on here, I would like to see, like, it's got a nice variation range. You can feel it, but it's like, it feels like it's like on off kind of thing. And the acceleration, especially in sport mode as well, a little bit jerky. So it needs to be a bit smoother. They can include, update that sort of stuff. The odometer, I'd like to see better. But apart from that, it's built like a brick dunny. It's really very nice, and I don't know the competition out there, not into my e-scooters, but I think the next equivalent one in size and range to this would be the Segway, one of the latest Segway models, and they're like 2.5 times, 3 times the price of this thing. Even Woolies, local supermarket, online, I don't think you can buy it in store, but online, their online store, they actually sell it via a third party. It looks like they're going into the drop shipping business now. Anyway, they're selling it for like $13.99 Aussie bucks, and it includes a free Magpie attractor as well. So it's not bad. It's built like a brick dunny. So I haven't had to charge this thing yet. I'm still on my first charge, and I've done quite a few kilometres on this thing, let me tell you, all around the car park, of course. But yeah, I guess the only limitation is physically the size and the weight. This is a big commuter e-scooter and, you know, like taking it from home to work or something like that, where you got to go, like if you're only going a kilometre or two, you don't need the kind of range that this thing has. And of course, with that range comes the bigger size and the heavier weight and everything. This thing's 25 kilos. So, you know, it's not something that you can easily just whack on the train or bus or something like that and carry with you and then, you know, scoot off to your work on the other end. Maybe you could, but I don't know, I could probably take this on the metro here, jump on the metro train, but if it's chockers, then you're kind of going to come a guts or anything. So it's a little bit too big for that use, but if you're after a long range e-scooter, it's worth checking out. It's built like a brick dunny. Kind of like it, needs a few refinements, but no worries, put it in sport mode. Anyway, it's fun to use on private property. Thanks, Daxys, and leave your thoughts and comments down below. Do you actually, let us know if you ride an e-scooter, like to and from work or to and from other things. How handy are they? Do you ride like a big ass one, long range jobby like this, or one of those little, you know, dinky sort of ones that you can sort of like fold up and carry under your arm on the train? So let us know. Anyway, I think they're pretty cool. Catch you next time. Woo! E-brake, stop! Whoa!